on mute unless speaking to ensure clear audio for all attendees. To go online, you can go to the go to meeting. There's a link in the detailed agenda online on the Sturbridge Conservation Commission webpage, or you can dial in at 1-646-749-3122. The access code is 819-169-093. Before we get going, let's do a call to order and a quorum call.
Nick Gravel here.
San Germano here.
Eric Gaspar, present.
Carsten Stuber, present.
And Ed Goodwin is not here tonight. All right. We don't have any walk-ins, it looks like, so why don't we start with the opening statement.
All right. In the interest of saving time, the Sturbridge Conservation Commission will hold all public hearings tonight for work within a wetland, water body, or resource area and/or within the 200-foot buffer zone to a wetland, water body, or resource area in accordance with the Mass Wetland Protection Act, MGL, Chapter 131, Section 40, and associated regulations, and the Town of Sturbridge Wetland Bylaws and associated regulations. We will not be reading the newspaper ad. Prior to opening the first hearing for each project, the applicant is to submit proof of notification to abutters within 200 feet of the subject property line and proof of the legal newspaper advertisement. If these items are not submitted, the public hearing will not open. Additionally, prior to the start of each public hearing, we will announce the location of the project, the applicant, and the applicant's representative.
Yeah.
If any of the visitors have not legibly signed in yet, please do. Also, if any visitors are recording this meeting, please let us know. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Just for everybody's knowledge, we will be recording this meeting as well. So we'll start at 6 o'clock. We're going to open the public hearing for the notice of intent for 68 Shepherd Road. Owner applicant Ronald Paquette, representative Christopher McClure, and DEP file number. Do we still not have one?
We do have one. I printed off a copy. It's in front of you, but DEP file number 300-1252.
DEP file 300-1252. Excellent, thank you. All right, do we have anybody here? Anybody online for 68 Shepherd Road?
We were told someone would be in person because there was a change in their staffing, so maybe we can table it and do some other business for 5 minutes till the next hearing.
Okay, sure.
You want to do that?
Yep, we'll table it. Why don't we move down to section 4, the wetland decisions.
Perfect.
Number 1, 279 Holland Road, request for certificate of compliance for DEP file number 300-977.
This project was for a new single-family home with driveway, septic, and well. The house was slightly larger than planned, but that portion of it was outside of the 200, so a change of the plan that should have been looked at by the commission, but also outside of our jurisdiction. I don't see any issues or concerns with the project.
Okay. Any discussion? Oh, go ahead.
Nope, no discussions.
Do I have a motion?
Do the motions? Regards to 279 Holland Road, DEP file number 300-977, I make the motion to issue a certificate of compliance.
Second.
With a note on that of the perpetual
perpetual
conditions of 23 and 23 on the detailed agenda. That must not be right. What, do we know what the
20.
perpetual, 23 and what?
32.
32? Okay.
Switched them.
All right. Karsten with a second.
Yep.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
San Germano in favor?
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
All right. We'll move down to number 7. Request for the certificate of compliance at 19 Mashapog Road, DEP file number 300-1129.
This project was for a failed culvert in 2022. I don't think there are any issues with it, but I would like to do one more site visit after we've had some snow melt, just to make sure there's no erosion and that everything's stable on the sides, because that was the only part that was kind of hard for me to see. So recommendation to table that to February 12th.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor of tabling until a later date?
Nick Gravel in favor?
St. Germain in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Allison Stuba in favor.
Perfect. Number 8, request for certificate of compliance, 19 Bennett's Road, DEP file number 300-741.
This project was for a septic replacement. It has passed Title V inspections, and this was actually completed a couple years ago, just not closed out. The homeowner has passed, and the family's trying to wrap everything up. I didn't see any concerns on site. This was done a while ago. Obviously, grass coverage is hard to tell at this point, but the amount of time we've spent on Bennett's in the last year, I think I would have noticed anything major. So recommendation to issue a certificate of compliance with the perpetual condition is noted.
Discussion? Do we have a motion?
In regards to 19 Bennett's Road, DEP file number 300-741, make the motion to issue a certificate of compliance with perpetual condition 22.
Second.
All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
St. Germain in favor.
Allison Stuba in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor. We can probably fit one more in, but request for certificate of compliance, number 9, 126 Lake Road, DEP file number 300-1149.
This one I'm also going to recommend that we table to February 12th, only because there was a significant amount of stormwater reporting requirements. It was just a demo and rebuild. And I mean, the reporting was a bit extensive for residential, but we don't have reports from the past few years, so I'm just trying to touch base with the owner to see if these things were done before recommending approval, or if it wasn't done, why, and what concerns we have. So recommendation to table that one.
All right. All those in favor of tabling number 9 to a future date?
Nick Gravel in favor?
St. Germain in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Allison Stuba in favor.
Okay. We are at 6:10, so we can go back up to number 2 on our docket. Open the hearing for notice of intent for 159 Walker Pond Road, owner applicant, the Department of Conservation and Recreation, DCR, Representative Christine McDonough, SWCA Environmental Consultants, DEP file number 300-1253. The project is trail maintenance and improvements for Mill Pond Trail at Wells State Park. And I think I saw Christine on that. Yep. Is it Christine or Kristen?
Remote, can you hear me?
Yep. Can hear you.
Okay, great. Yep, I have to change my settings every time there's a new app. Hi, I'm Kristen McDonough. I'm representing the Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation, DCR. This is for a trail maintenance project at Wells State Park. We actually filed a notice of intent with the Sturbridge Conservation Commission in 2023. And some of that work was either not fully completed or was not completed to DCR's satisfaction. So we filed a request for a certificate of compliance a couple of months ago. We received that in November and refiled the NOI with a couple additional sort of wishes that may or may not happen, but we wanted to get them on the permit anyway. So we did get a Mass DEP file number pretty recently. There were a couple of comments. I'm happy to go through the project and present that to the commission if there are any additional questions. I know we had a site walk recently. Kristen, I'm glad to see you're here and you're okay. But this is sort of a repeat of our 2023 filing, so I don't want to take up too much time with a full presentation unless anybody wants me to do that.
I don't personally need a full walkthrough, but are there any highlights of the differences between the 23 filing and what you're proposing today?
I did allow for, I did allow you to share your screen if that's easier too.
Oh, sure.
That access.
Yeah, I'll do that really quick. Window, I guess. I think it's this one. Sorry, this is my first time with this app, so forgive me if let me know if I'm sharing my web map.
Nope, it's on the go-to.
Make a
Okay.
motion to-
Well, Kristen sets up, I just wanted to let everyone know that Ali Atandi from DCR is also on the call. I'm calling in, not on the web version.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Ally.
I'm gonna try one more time, and if I still can't get it. Can you see my web map now?
Yep.
Okay, great. I guess I picked the wrong option. So this is the USGS topographic map. This is Sturbridge. It's approximately 1 to 24,000 scale. This red outline here is the Wells State Park outline. So it's a pretty large state park. This is Walker Pond, obviously. And this purple trail line right here is the Mill Pond Trail. If I just zoom way in on this, and this is a little bit of a choppy line, here's the ortho underneath. There are a couple of areas where we had proposed stream crossing replacements in 2023. One wasn't done, and one was done poorly, and that was basically just a deck replacement. Let me pull up my, if I grab my PDF, where did that go? Here it is. If I grab my PDF and slide it over, can you all see my PDF now of the plans?
We can see it.
Okay, let me just cue this up. Okay, so this is the Mill Pond Trail right here. The loop continues, but there's no work over here. You can see this blue area. These are perennial streams. They're technically unnamed intermittent streams, but we're qualifying them as perennial streams just because that's how they're behaving. They're very anthropogenically manipulated. There are a lot of dams out there. We're just going with perennial status. So the whole site's essentially in riverfront. So most of the proposed impacts are in riverfront area, but there's a bridge crossing here, and there's a bridge crossing here, and here. The second bridge crossing that was replaced in 2023, well, the work was done in 2024. The contractors, the way, it was basically like a bridge decking. It wasn't really a bridge. It was kind of like a punch-in. It was just a wood decking that went over an existing crossing. And the way it was situated, it sort of blocked the flow of the stream, and it created a bit of a damming situation, so the water was overtopping, and that created erosion. So one of the differences between this filing and the last filing is there's a new crossing structure that's proposed at a slight angle, and we'll take out that old structure. We'll restore the erosion that's on the bank with a seed mix that's native to the county. And the new crossing structure will completely span at least 1.2 times the bank full width. So there will be no impacts to actual bank. I think we overestimated about 4 square feet of bank impacts, but that's mostly associated with restoration. The footings are all diamond piers, so it will completely span the resource area. But as you saw in the Wetlands Protection Act form, the quantifications for riverfront are just basically for any work that's within the actual trail, because pretty much the whole trail is in riverfront.
Yeah. So that's the primary difference, just cleaning up bad craftsmanship the first time? And
That's the biggest
completing the
difference.
work.
There are a couple other ones. So the purpose of the project is to create a more accessible trail. So some of the slopes on this trail are exceeding accessibility standards, which is a 12% grade. So there's one small trail reroute that is to avoid a steeper section of trail. And then there's another section of a longer trail reroute that's further up here, this section up here, that may or may not happen. And again, that's to avoid this steeper section here. There are a total of 2 red maple trees, 6-inch diameter breast height, that will need to be removed for this little trail reroute down here. And we walked this in the field, so commissioners and the agent should be familiar with these areas. No trees need to be cut for this. The abandoned section of trail, if this does happen, will be completely restored, and same with this section down here if this little bump out does happen up here. And it's just, again, just to create a more accessibility friendly trail with reduced steepness for slopes and a more even trail surface for wheelchairs.
Thank you, Kristen.
Kristen, if you don't mind me jumping in, we also have one additional stream crossing that DCR had not incorporated into the original NOI just because it was in fair condition. But now that we're revisiting the site and filing a new NOI, we decided, you know, it's time for this bridge to be replaced, and so we included it in the new filing. And similar to the other bridge, we are going to be replacing with a bridge that's going to meet stream continuity standards. It's actually going to elevate the trail about 20 inches, so there'll be some additional grading on the approaches. But that'll provide us with a fully accessible one-way loop for this trail, which is ultimately what we've been looking for.
Awesome. Thank you.
I have photos in this application too. If anyone wants to look at existing conditions, just let me know.
Lauren, anything from your seat?
So we walked the site actually like the end of summer, so I was able to see the erosion issues a lot more clearly than we were able to with the current snow conditions. So that was really helpful as well. Overall, this is significant.
It's useless to go there.
What's that?
It's useless to go there.
Overall, this is a lot of trail improvement, and the redirected trails are actually further away from the resource areas. We have the natural heritage conditions that would be implemented too. We've got an explanation of trail maintenance, which is great. I would like to recommend that if the commission issues an order of conditions, that it be granted for 5 years, partially because I understand that there are some financial constraints of trying to get that second reroute, which in my opinion is a good alternative route, and I would like to see that happen. So I think that giving additional time, that if funding does become an issue for DCR, that they have a little bit more time to try and make that happen versus trying to do an extension. There was one question, if you, to the applicants, if you had a chance to look at the DEP comments regarding the alteration of BVW, even in temporary. I went through and looked at the pages that were addressed, the LP3, 4, and 5, and I did not see anything that looked like it was crossing into the BVW directly or over it, but if you just had a chance to look at that and just to confirm.
Yep, we did look at that. We saw the DEP comment. So can you see my DEP comment letter on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, there are no new trail reroutes or new trail work within BVW, just routine maintenance within the existing trail footprint in BVW.
Okay. That was my only question, really.
Nick, any comments, questions?
I have just one question, but because I didn't walk the site and I'm not very sure where this is located. I can see in the map. How close is this to, or like, is this higher elevation than the electrical lines, the transfer lines that are very nearby? I have walked that area before, and there are some big beaver ponds, and I'm wondering if yes, like those areas that are like very hard like to cross. Is there any risk of increased flooding of the area and like damage to this cross paths that they're going to be doing, like these bridges, if these areas keep flooding with the expansion of the beaver dams?
Yeah, you guys have a lot of beaver issues in Sturbridge, huh? Yeah, so here, I'll turn on all of the DCR trails. So this is the right of way here. Again, this purple line's the Mill Pond Trail Loop. There is definitely a lot of beaver activity. This web map isn't really showing the streams, and if I turn this on, it's kind of busy. Or maybe I have to turn on the water body and wetland flags, but it gets kind of busy. But essentially, in a nutshell, this is the stream system here. So this is lower lying than up here, and then this gets actually pretty steep up to the east and the west as that right of way goes that way. So this is a lower elevation than the right of way, if that answers your question.
Yes. Okay. So is there any concern of like these areas, like let's say in like 4 or 5 years from now, like getting like affected by increasing flooding of water?
Well, the NOI doesn't have any necessarily beaver operation and maintenance activity associated with it, but there is definitely beaver activity at Will State Park, and there is definitely beaver activity adjacent to the Mill Pond Trail. I know DCR has a beaver deceiver in at least one location adjacent to the trail, and they maintain those, but again, that's not part of this NOI.
I think that the way that the landscape is and just the history of the site with all of the stone walls and everything that on there, that as we see environmental changes and more impacts from beavers, that there are places that the wetlands can expand that are beyond where these trails are being proposed, and I think that the stream crossings are high enough at this point that there wouldn't be any alterations needed. We had
It's just something like to keep an eye like in the
I
in the
think half the
monitor.
reason they're doing this is because the bridges those people put
Right.
in the first time.
They're like
Yeah.
already-
And actually, here's some good evidence of the beaver activity. This was the old dam that actually blew out, and then the beavers that repaired the dam. So kind of.
Yeah.
So they're doing their thing out there.
That's pretty impressive.
So,
Too bad they didn't build that first bridge.
right?
Karsten, anything from you? No, I'm good. I think that this is an improvement as long as we have some clear communication to the contractor of what the expectations are. I'm happy with the project. Anybody from the public like to speak to this? Do we have a motion?
Okay.
Unless we have to waive it.
So okay, yeah.
Close the public hearing
Close the
first.
public hearing in regards to 159 Walker Pond Road, DEP file number 300-1253. Make the motion to close the public hearing.
Second? All right, any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
Saint Germain in favor?
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
And I get a motion for the waiver required.
Yes, and regarding 159 Walker Pond Road, the EP file number 300-1253, I make the motion to provide a waiver for disturbance within a 25-foot buffer.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
Saint Germain in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
In regards to the property at 159 Walker Pond Road, the EP file number 300-1253, I make the motion to provide a waiver for structures within the 50-foot buffer zone.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Gravel in favor?
Saint Germain in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
In regards to the property at 159 Walker Pond Road, the EP file number 300-1253, I make the motion to approve the project pursuant to the Wetland Protection Act with conditions noted in the draft order of conditions.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Just from a discussion standpoint, does that include the 5-year, does the draft order condition include the 5-year permit?
It does, but if you want to clarify that, you can. If you want to
Could we
clarify that in
just
the motion.
clarify in that this will be a 5-year permit?
Do you want me like to
Should I
do the
you can
motion?
just add it
So I'll
for a duration of 5 years.
approval to the project pursuant to the Wetland Protection Act with the conditions noted in the draft order of condition and a 5 years
Approval, yeah.
approval time.
And Karsten already
Second.
seconded it, so
Second.
any further discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
Saint Germain in favor.
Carsten Stuber in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor. And finally, Floor.
And finally, I'm so rusty with this motions. regards to 159 Walker Pond Road, the EP file number 300-1253, I make the motion to approve the project pursuant to the Stourbridge Wetland Bylaw with conditions noted in the draft order of conditions and also like the 5 years extension.
Second.
All right, we have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
San Germain in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
All right. Kristen, Ally, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Have a pleasant evening.
Thank you. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
All right, moving on to number 3, continuation of the public hearing for the notice of intent for 51 Bennett's, owner applicant Liam Ferguson, Representative Glenn Kravosky, Environmental Consultants, Inc., DEP file number 300-1246, proposed project, construction of a 1,400 or 1,410 square foot garage and 325 square foot concrete patio. The applicant has requested a continuance until February 12th, 2026. Could I get a motion?
Sorry, I got distracted.
Would somebody like to make a motion to provide the applicant the requested continuance?
Oh,
till
the
February-
continuation,
February
yes.
12th.
In regards to the property at 51 Bennett's Road, EP file number 300-1246, I make the motion to continue the hearing until February 12th, 2026.
Right, do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion? Only discussion I will make, I forgot to tell you at the beginning of the meeting, I will be on a plane flying back that evening, so I will not be here on the 12th.
Did we switch it from the 20, is that what we did?
No, this is our regular scheduled meeting. The one on the 26th was the special meeting.
Okay.
And we're going to have to move that. So, all those in favor to approving the continuance?
Nick Gravel in favor?
San Germain in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
All right, number 4. You're already prepared, Glenn. I like it. I appreciate it. It's because Stan has you. He's
right there.
I know.
No,
I know.
like
Thank you
I
for
do
that.
what I can to get
All right,
things moving.
we're going to continue the public hearing for the notice of intent for 21 Long Avenue. Owner applicant Stanley and Catherine Iwanicki. Representative Glenn Kravosky, EBT Environmental, Inc., DEP file number 300-1250. Proposed project, raise a 545 square foot single-family home and construct a 792 square foot home.
Thank you very much, Conservation Commission members and staff. We have gone through a few renditions with Chapter Lane, the designer of this project. And the latest one we have numbered on the plan will go through approximately 11 points of change and working with Lauren, or discussions with Lauren and discussions with Jean Bourbon. And at the last meeting, Ed had expressed why we were where we were with the front of the building adjacent to the lake. And he did express that he would like to see if we would pursue a variance to move closer to the road. We did have a meeting with Jean Bourbon and Lauren, thank you. My client did, and the issue was that we're right adjacent to the well, 5.7 feet from the well. And that would be the closest point that, for construction, as far as the town was concerned. Could I please go through the vice chair and just explain briefly that discussion?
Sure.
If he can, thank you.
Yeah, I contacted the health department, and they said that it had to be, they would like at least 5 feet from any structure for that well, so they're able to come up and do what they need to do. And right now, it's 5 feet 7 inches from the overhang is what needed to be. And we,
So that,
that's what,
so
yeah.
so if I could, so that was one of the stoppers for pushing it closer to the road, or at least asking for a variance to go closer. We're not
And the
sure we
grinder
would.
pump,
We're not sure we would have gotten a variance, excuse me, is that correct?
grinder pump as well.
Grinder
The
pump,
grinder
so-
pump, yes, it needed to be 10 feet from any structure, and that's pretty close to where it is right now. That was the DPW, I had to contact them for that.
I see. And so if I move from the roadway, at the roadway, we went with the new pervious pavers. Originally, it was just asphalt, so that's pervious paver with a detail on the maintenance, which we know that the conservation here want to ensure that we have maintenance. It is from Willow Creek permeable pavers. And although there was a little bit of concern by the applicant, we did go with that to get this water back in the ground because we had a problem with Cultec's unit. DEP had a comment that the Cultec, when Jay Dubois, as you know, that engineer, he had done a hole, there was no other place to do a hole for Perk and Deep, and he put it in the front, or towards the lakeside, I should say, and it can't, any infiltration has to be over 50 feet from the wetland. DEP did bring that up, and we removed the Cultec, and we went with drip strips on both sides of the house. They're shown on the plan. Beyond, so that would be a second item that we had done. And then as we move towards the lake, the deck, originally there was a small piece cut off, so it stayed out of the 25. I did ask the client to cut it down even more, so it's now 8 feet from long, as far as towards the lake, instead of the original 10. As we go further towards the lake, facing the lake, that would be the northwest corner or northern corner. We did add new trees over there. Mr. Goodwin did express he wanted to see additional trees in that location, and we did add that would be a native trees, or black birch, paper birch, or sugar maple, and we'll specify those. We have added a list of different plants that we have on the plan for, that would be all bushes, but in this case, that is a sapling, 2.5-inch caliper that we put in that corner. We did bring in some photos of, and I know you've already seen this, but the trees in that corner, the size of the pines that are hanging there, which I don't necessarily have to bring it up, but we had a concern with losing the top or coming down on anything. So those are the pines in that corner that are coming down. That's just a quick view of them. Through the chair.
Through the chair, I was just there 2 weeks ago, and there are branches that came down just in the last wind that went through there. I haven't been there in 2 weeks, so I don't know what the snow or anything has done to that. I mean, they are quite large.
Tall.
Tall.
Thank you. And then as I keep moving around, there is a planting bed, 8x3 native, adjacent to the water, facing the lake. That would be to the right. We continue around. There was a slight discrepancy of that wall in the front, and there was some discussions about putting steps in so that they wouldn't have to walk around the wall to the left and right or north and south. And so originally there was some discussion about putting the steps sticking out from the wall. I recommended that we put them inland of the wall so that we don't have any more structure closer to the wall. I know that that's Mr. Goodwin's concern with anything closer, so there was some discussion by Lauren about maybe more alteration, but we can easily stabilize. It'll only be a cut for those steps, 3 steps to get up, and stabilization, lumen seed. We'll put juniper. That's a very small area we're altering. As we continue around, new bushes are shown on the plan, new bushes. We did have a letter from Durkee White Town in Chapter Lane that we presented to you. Why the hook on that stone wall, which the steps are now in. Originally, it almost was all perpendicular. There was no hook coming around. In fact, that's not the last plan. It's up there. Here's the new plan. I'm sorry. That's the old plan. Here's the new plan. There's the hook. And we didn't want anybody saying, well, especially during an as-built, why did the wall look blunt over there and it hooks around? That's actually the wall. So we just made a point, and he explained it with his letter of why there was an error in survey. We showed him, we corrected it.
Took some pictures to show them.
And making sure that and the as-built didn't show something more, and then a question about where'd that come from.
This part here?
Yeah.
Right here. Yes, ma'am.
From the 25 plan to the 26 plan.
Yes, ma'am. I should use this too. So that would be that point, and it's keep trees near there, new trees continue on. As we continue on that southern side of the house, there's not a lot, there's some new trees. I don't see emergency generator, that's a new point, isn't it, the emergency generator?
I think.
Do you have one there now? It's shown,
Yeah,
but I know, but is
yeah.
that something new?
No, not from the plan in 2025. It's the same.
I know, but that's new to you, for the site.
Yes. Oh,
We
yes,
have a
yes,
new
yes, yes.
emergency generator
Sorry.
for the site. And the other, as we continue on to the front, is a landscape There's some landscaping in front of the structure.
That's okay.
If I go to the notice of intent, we'll also talk about something. So this new landscape structure here. And if I just go through my small list that I have. Again, we did contact DEP. They understand that we removed the Coltech. That was one of the few comments they had. There was some question about BLSF. We're not in BLSF on any of this, so I'm not sure where that question came from. We did answer that we weren't. And the only other thing, in the notice of intent, we just want to clarify that the square footage of the deck, even though we show that it's smaller, we had originally said 200 square feet and 220, it's now 176. So that's a correction in the project description, that it's smaller. The size of the house, again, that did stay 792. 613 went to 792. Talking to Jean Bombon, she still felt that that was a small structure for these areas, but we know the lot is undersized. I believe we covered everything as we circle around the plan, and we're here for any questions you have. We will say that the Chapter 91 for the dock, we will go to the selectmen. Normally, that's just a selectmen issue. Temporary dock, Chapter 91
You actually don't have to get permits anymore.
anymore.
That's the new change from last year.
Let me make a big note on that.
For temporary
that
permits,
means it's-
it's only if you need a variance.
Oh,
If you don't meet the select board's regulations or their guidelines for temporary docks as far
Okay.
as the setbacks, length, square footage, all that.
And we
If
can
you don't-
find
if-
that
if-
online.
yeah. If you need a variance, then you have to go before the select board, but you no longer have to go before the select board for a temporary dock if you are compliant with the regulations.
But may I, this is a permanent dock structure? This isn't a temporary that's there right now? So do I need to do anything?
Yeah.
with
That's
the-
chapter 91 with the state.
that we, and as we did on Big Alum for, we've done a few in your town, we'll take it to the state. Permanent. We did a permanent one a few years, you weren't here, but we've done a few in this town. So we'll take care of this with Chapter 91, Boston, Ivan, as I know, and Chrissy Hobbs. So that's our project.
Right.
We did do some detail drip strip. There is a detail on the drip strip that Chapter Lane did show on the plan after that, once we got rid of the Coltech. Thank you.
Thank you. Lauren?
It's a small house on a small lot. I think that we've explored all options for trying to pull it back anymore, and all of those options are exhausted at this point. There are a lot of improvements coming to this site, especially from what there's now as far as stormwater mitigation. With the stairs coming back too, that was just trying to pull something out to try and reduce anything going into that 25-foot. I think the shoreline plantings will be a great addition as well to kind of do what we've done for several other projects, not as much on Cedar because we haven't had as many of these projects on Cedar lately, but especially with, Big Alum, that we've tried to do more naturalization of shorelines, and adding that new tree as well. There were some concerns about the deck on the structure in the previous meetings. As stated, small house, small livable space. I don't see any, from a protection view, I understand it's a structure within the 50, which the house is within the 50, but it's still a already developed area, already developed lawn, so as far as the resource, it's not going to be any different. You could add a perpetual condition that says that this deck remains a deck and that it cannot be converted into a screened-in livable area or a concrete pad underneath it, if that's something that you want to go forward with. But obviously, if they were trying to do something like that, that would be coming back before the commission for a new filing anyway. I do want to thank the applicant and Glenn for their patience through this process. This is a tough project and a tough site, and we've all spent a lot of time on it. But I can't see any other concerns or really any other options to try and bring anything back, unfortunately.
Nick?
Feel good with it?
So all the DEP comments are addressed.
DEP comments are addressed.
My only question is for you, Stan, if we were to add that perpetual condition to just kind of limit the enclosure of the deck as a perpetual condition, would you be okay with us adding that?
I would be, I mean, would there be, I mean, yeah, honestly, would I be able to come back and see if we could do that, or the perpetual condition will just, no, and that's it? I understand what perpetual means, but.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it would be,
It's not a deed restriction?
Yeah, it's not a deed restriction, so
Right.
anything can come back in front of us, but that would get brought up at the,
Okay.
you know.
So I'd have to ask for amendment if I, you know.
Well, it would be a brand new filing anyway,
Yeah.
but the
Just curious.
agent, assuming it's somebody as diligent as Lauren, the agent would bring and say that there was a restriction in the previous restriction. We've been burnt by situations like that.
I'm okay with it. I don't see us doing that. I mean, I
Yeah.
think we have enough, you know, enough what it is. I mean, we'll put it on, you know, a retractable awning. Would that be something that we might to keep the sun off the deck? Would that be something that we could do?
That's not an
Yeah.
enclosure.
Okay, I'm just, you know.
Yeah.
Temporary structures, if you put a pop-up tent on the top of a
Right,
deck,
right.
anything like that,
Right,
that's
right.
a temporary.
Okay.
Yeah, no, those are
I'd like
fine.
to ask the questions.
Yeah,
No-
absolutely,
The
absolutely.
only dumb question is one not asked.
Yeah,
That's the way I
absolutely.
look at it.
Is there anything from the public? Okay, I'd like a motion to close the public hearing.
In regards to 21 Long Avenue, the EP file number 300-1250, I make the motion to close the public hearing.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
German in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
All right,
In regards to the property at 21 Long Avenue, the EP file number 300-1250, I make the motion to approve a waiver for disturbance within the 25-foot buffer.
do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
German in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
In regards to the property 21 Long Avenue, the EP file number 300-1250, I make the motion to approve a waiver for structures within the 50-foot buffer.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
German in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
In regards to the property at 21 Long Avenue, the EP file number 300-1250, I make the motion to approve the project pursuant to the Wetland Protection Act with the conditions noted in the draft order of condition. And are we adding the perpetual conditions of not enclosing the deck area?
No permanent enclosure.
No permanent enclosures.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
German in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
And the last, in regards to the property in 21 Long Avenue, the EP file number 300-1250, I make the motion to approve the project pursuant to the Sturbridge Wetland Bylaw with the conditions noted in the draft order of condition.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Just have a question about a surety or a deposit for this project, especially that close to the water. And
I don't see a need for it, but it's, it's at your discretion. It is further back, and you've got the retaining wall support too.
all right, that's-
And like I said, it's a small house that's coming
Right.
down, so the ground that's being exposed is gonna be in the flat area.
just
could
want to
do
ask a
a-
question, make sure that we're justified.
You
Just say
could,
my
yeah,
question,
you could
yeah.
propose I can put something within the conditions for the erosion, well, I mean, I think it's already noted under our standard for erosion control, but if it looks like that it's gonna be needed for a secondary erosion control to have a second silt fence higher up, if we're having, severe weather conditions during that time of construction. But we usually have a condition in there that's extra siltation barriers on site, but
No,
I hope the weather
Just wanted to
cooperates.
make sure we're being consistent, and that sounds like we're being consistent, so that's fine. All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
German in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
Flora, you did excellent work. Stan, thank you for your patience.
No, that's
Blaine,
okay.
always a pleasure.
Thank you
Thank you for staff's time, thank you,
Yes,
Conservation.
exactly.
for your
You really
time.
appreciate that.
Great help, thank you very much.
Lauren, good work.
Yes, thank you.
Family.
Stay warm, should we say,
Right?
coming up?
This is fine. Tomorrow is the problem.
Jean wanted me to ask if your family is connected to the chicken
Yeah,
restaurant.
it
in
is,
Chesapeake.
it is, yes, it is,
How
yes.
so?
How'd you know? I'll have to call her.
She heard something about it and she
Yeah,
wanted me to
yeah,
ask you, and I thought,
my
yeah.
brother had that out there. My father started it a long time ago.
Oh.
I went that out 35 years ago.
So you here for 68 Shepherd? Perfect. Well, I was looking for something to fill time for the next 10 minutes, so I'll bring it right back
Of course,
on.
of course. Congrats on the new house,
I'm sure we'll be back for you.
on the new old house, yes. It's gonna be great.
I'll thank you for saying that, because I was gonna ask shortly, and we'll bring that one right up, because Old Hamilton Road isn't on the schedule till 7, so.
Let's do the 68.
Yep. All right, so, I'd like to open a public hearing for the notice of intent for 68 Shepherd Road, owner applicant Ronald Paquette, representative Christopher McClure, DEP file number 300-1252, for a septic system installation, and representing is not McClure. Just state your name for the record, sir.
Joseph Bellino, JRB Wetland Consulting.
And also, if you guys didn't sign in, there's an extra sign-in right there for you, but make sure that you sign in at some point.
Oh, okay.
There's another one at the table when you walked in, too.
Thank you for coming up, because otherwise I would have waited until the end to
No,
see what
I
we're gonna do
like
with
I
this.
said, the door was locked. I couldn't get in.
The door was locked?
It was locked. So I went to
Did
the
you go
across
in
the
the
street.
front door or this door?
I tried both, and I saw all the cars, but it was locked. When I came to drop off the NOI that day, it was locked as well. Luckily,
weird.
somebody came out of the door and I was able to get in.
Really?
Yeah, it was locked.
Press it down.
Yeah, well,
I tried, I didn't want to rip it off the, not that I'm that strong, but
If you don't press it down.
I just, I apologize, but, Chris will get mad at me.
Well,
Which one of you was the last one in?
I was the last, I was open.
Ah.
It was open when I came in. Certainly was.
all right, so what do we need to know about this, sir?
Yeah, what we have at 68 Shepherd Road, he needs to replace a failing septic system. And McClure Engineering retained me to flag the wetlands, which I did back in, I think it was August. Since then, this is the the new septic system. It looks like it's definitely a raised system. Looks like, as I recall, there's, I think the top is at 733, I think.
It looks like.
731. Groundwater, I believe, was, I think it was 727. So the bottom of system to groundwater, you have to have 4 feet. And I was just looking through the plans earlier today. So like I say, it is a mounded system, and the lot's kind of tight, but I believe the Board of Health has approved the design, right? The Board of Health approved the septic. So the presumption, of course, with wetlands is if you have a septic system which meets Title V, then it's presumed to protect the interests of the Act. So I think it's a win-win for the property, for the environment, and for the Paquettes, and for the abutters, for everybody. So it's a pretty straightforward project. And then, there are some trees, I guess, that have to be cut down. I believe they're marked on the plan. And I believe there is some mitigation proposed, which all that should be in the order of conditions, and I'm confident that we'll be fine with that, and the Paquettes will gladly abide by any of that. So I don't think there'll be any issue. Any questions on? Is there?
We'll start with Lauren.
It's a wet site, as you mentioned, it's a high water table. So essentially, way back when the house was built, may or may not have filled a wetland initially, so this is the situation that we're kind of left with now. Ken, our health agent, and I had gone out prior to even any application just to explore any possible options. Initially, my recommendation was to try and get the system over here to work in with the existing slope so that it didn't have to be as much of a grade change, but once they did the survey, turned out that wasn't going to be possible because the lot line is actually a lot further this way than what we thought. So this is the only spot that is left over. As you also know from other projects, that Ken does strive to try to get any septic systems outside of the 50-foot buffer. It's just not possible here, and it's not possible to reduce the system anymore either, because what we have now is proposing maximum treatment, especially being that close to a resource area. So while the grade change is extremely drastic, there will be improvements as far as what's going in and having pre-treatment before it gets to that wetland that is so close now. I pointed it out when we were on the site walk, but obviously mitigation is going to be a huge challenge because this is the whole lawn and it's not recommended that plantings be within 10 feet of the system. I do think that there could be some shrubs that maybe we cut in this corner area and maybe even along the slope to kind of help stabilize in that area. But that would be about it. I think I did recommend that in the conditions as well. And then the only other thing is, and I talked about this with Chris when we were on site, and we talked about working with the septic installer on it, is trying to bring the grading in this area back a little bit more, only because my concern is, you know, how it drops here and then goes back up. I just don't want water to pool in this area that could, you know, potentially do damage to the septic system. So trying to bring back the grading so it's a little bit more gradual and then pitch it so that way it's diverting that way and this way. There is a door right here in the garage, so there's a little bit of restraint for what you can do for grading, but I think that that would work for it. Those are all of my recommendations.
Where is the existing?
The existing system is right here right now. And it's several decades old and,
Just a leaching pit, right? I
Right.
believe?
right.
This-
So
this
all
is
of that just kind of slowly works its way
This is-
into that wetland.
This is a marked improvement. I mean, you have a Title V approved system. Even though it's mounded, it's still constructed in such a way that you've got, you know, the offsets to groundwater are met. It's all of a really good material, you know. You're gonna get, it's a big improvement over existing conditions. And as I say, the system that exists, or what I don't even call it a system, the treatment of sanitary sewage from the home really is non-compliant. But now we have a system that meets Title V that, again, is presumed to protect the interests of the act. So that's really, I think it's a win-win.
The two trees are number, have the pointer.
These two?
These two here that are quite far.
These ones up here?
Yes, those two up there, are those to be removed? And
They are.
Okay, is because of the proximity or is
Accessibility, I
that
think, too, right?
And the grading and everything else around
Oh,
it.
yes, like
So
the
it's,
access to the.
this is essentially clearing majority of the trees that are in the backyard, but this is all undeveloped swamp forest. This is all vegetated with forest too. So, like I said, the mitigation is gonna be really hard. That's why I think that kind of trying to fill in this corner spot and maybe some shrubs at the bottom of the slope to just slow any flow would be really the only options, but I wouldn't recommend any large trees in that area, really. Tough.
To steal from our old friend Dave Barnacle, some berry-bearing bushes would be, for habitat and food source would be good there. Something along those lines? Okay.
High bush blues would work.
Yep.
That's what I usually propose.
Yep. Would that be acceptable for what
That
you're
would be
looking for?
acceptable.
Okay.
Whatever you put in there, I'm sure they'll comply. We'll comply.
Nick, anything?
No, I think it's
Or
pretty
anything
straightforward.
else?
Nothing else?
I'm fine.
All right. Could I get a motion to close the public hearing?
In regards to 68 Shepherd Road, the EP file number 300-1252. I make the motion to close the public hearing.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
Saint Germain in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
In regards to 68 Shepherd Road, DEP file number 300-1252,
Okay.
I make the motion to approve a waiver for disturbance within the 25-foot buffer.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
Saint Germain in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
In regards to the property at 68 Shepherd Road, I make DP file number 300-1252. I make the motion to approve the project. We don't need a waiver? No. Approve the project pursuant to the Wetland Protection Act with the conditions noted in the draft order of conditions, including the bushes.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
Saint Germain in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
In regards to property at 68 Shepherd Road, DEP file number 300-1252, I make the motion to approve the project pursuant to the Sturbridge Wetland Bylaw with the conditions noted in the draft order of conditions.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
Saint Germain in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
All right, there we go. I would say congratulations, gentlemen, but that's not his project, so there you go. You did a good job pinch hitting. Thank you.
Yeah, you never know when you're gonna get called from the bullpen, right?
But, exactly. And by the time I read this, we will be at 7 o'clock, so I think we are safe to open the hearing for the notice of intent for 23 Old Hamilton Road. Owner, I apologize, I'm gonna, Abu Bakr Mahmood? Is it close? Is it? Okay.
Thank you.
Representative Joe Bellino, JRB Wetland Consultants, DP file number 300. Do we have,
We do not.
we do not?
I
Okay.
checked the portal today,
I
too.
emailed them today, so.
The one for 68 Shepherd, I didn't even get the email today. I talked to Liz at McClure, and she was like, oh, it's on the portal. So maybe
You
their
don't have a
system's
file
slow,
number for
but,
that one either?
no, I had it, but it was only on the portal, not emailed to me. I
Yeah,
checked for this one, and that one's not there yet,
Filed it
so.
on New Year's Eve, so
Okay.
it's 3 weeks.
Well, the proposed project is construction of a 24 by 24 attached garage, enlarging the existing 12 by 24 rear patio, and a 5 by 8 front concrete patio with a 12 by 20 wood deck to a rear patio and a 10 by 25 foot beach area. Boy, that's a lot of project. Okay. Go ahead, gentlemen.
All right. Yeah, you summarized it very well. Dr. Mahmood he resides at 23 Old Hamilton Road extension, and this is his home, and he proposes to do an attached 24 by 24 garage. And also the rear patio, we're going to enlarge that from 12 by 20, I believe, to 12 by 34, or 8 by 20, 20 to 20, 12 by 34. The front concrete landing will be enlarged to 5 by 8. I think it's currently 3 by 5. And then we would like to put in a 10 by 25 beach area on the lakeside. Obviously, the Cedar Lake side, I should qualify that. And that's going to be up from the flagged wetland that I flagged. So there'll be no disturbance to the bank. It'll be an area that'll be created, just put some type of sand, I'm assuming, down, some chairs and things, but just a small beach area. Some of the work is within the 100-foot buffer zone. I want to say the garage is within, one of the corners is like 95, almost 96 feet. On the Cedar Lake side, it's over 200 feet well, that's off the road. It's within the buffer zone on both sides. There's a BVW associated with the unnamed pond on the old Hamilton Road side. So we're within the buffer zone to both areas, if you will, both wetland areas. But we're not proposing any work in the wetlands. It's very limited amount of site work, basically just to dig for footings for the garage and the foundation. It's on flat ground up top, so there shouldn't be any issue there. And the patio is basically just, enlarging an existing patio, front and rear. And also the beach area will be, is that disturbed down below? Is it vegetated where the proposed beach is gonna go?
That's the spot that is less vegetated than any other spot. It's next to the deck.
The dock?
Yeah, the dock, whereas there.
I just don't recall how vegetated it was.
It was pretty wide open, I think. I remember looking at it.
Oh, sure. My bad.
You have pictures of it?
There we go.
Yeah, I have pictures of it.
Yeah, I remember when I did the flagging, it was, I think it was August. Yeah, I think it wasn't, I don't think there was, maybe some small. Did I do that?
No,
I didn't think I
this
did
just
that.
might be,
There is a trees laying in the water. I think it's been.
It's a little to the right, right?
Yeah, to the right. Yep. Yes.
it's in like this area.
Yes.
That's about where the beach is gonna be located? Looks like right about in there,
Right.
about the Mahmood, right around in
Is
there.
that still graded or is it kind of flat?
It's graded, I think, from the back of the house going down. It's looked like there was a road either for the accessing the water here.
Yeah, there's
or
like
I-
an access road.
Yeah, or to the highway. I think the fence for the highway around this area. So I don't know if they.
This portion right here is pretty flat. I don't think they'd need.
Yeah, as I recall, it's, yeah, you took this before there was snow, so, but I can see the ice, though. Yeah, so, like you said, it'd probably be somewhere in that area.
And how would you get the sand there?
Pardon? How would you
land
get
it?
the sand there? Probably just bags, right? We'd probably buy some type of, or wheelbarrow it down. Maybe have like some, depending on what type of sand he wants for the beach.
It has to be quite a bit of sand.
Yeah, it would either be bags or wheelbarrow down or something. I don't know how else you get it down there. It wouldn't be, there's no, you're not gonna drive it down there. It would be the hand-carried bags of sand or wheelbarrowed, or some type of something like a wheelbarrow.
I have a question. Given that it's in a slope, will there be any type of retaining
Like
like
a
wall
retaining
or
wall?
something like to keep that sand from eroding to the
Nothing is
lake?
proposed. It's basically just to create just an area so that, they'd be able to have a small beach
It's almost
area.
flat there, and I don't think there is any high area around it too. That's just my thought. I have no clue what's.
It is a pretty flat area for whatever reason.
Because it's,
And how much you will need like to dig in to get this sand?
how
or
much
is-
you have to cut in, I don't think it's that much.
Or because I will assume that you will have like to create some type of basin, dig in to get the,
From a grading standpoint, I think we're going from 583 down to about 579.
70.
So there's about a 4-foot grade. It's not
it's
insignificant.
not insignificant.
I think there was a cut into the hill. I think that's what he was discussing. That was an access to get down there from either the Mass Pike or something a long time ago. So when you go to the site, there's an obvious like trail that's flat that goes down to this flat area that he's talking about. So it's
Yeah.
not quite showing it on the topo map.
No, what I mean is that you will have to create some type of pit to have
Like, I
that
think you're
sand
gonna
inside.
want to remove some of the root system. It looks like it's a little bit of scrub oak and maybe some small pines and stuff down there, so, I mean, Lauren, is there how far would we be okay with, or how far would they have to dig down? Is that what you're kind of talking about?
Well, there has to be some type of structure to put the sand
To
in.
keep
They
it on.
cannot like just, if you like just go with the sandbags and like remove the vegetation and put the sand on top of what is there,
Yeah.
it will erode with the first rain.
My guess would be, some sort of a cut into that, whatever slope there is there. We're gonna try to stay, I would assume we try to stay, and keep it in an area that's as flat as possible.
So how much you want to cut into this hill to make it a little flatter? How would you do that? I mean, you would get a,
I don't think we are cutting to the hill. That's why we picked it. It's almost flat. So basically more like evening it out.
It's probably just, evening it out, greening it a little bit, flattening it out. If it's in this area, obviously you have to remove some of the vegetation that's there. Perhaps you might want to put in some type of a mat on the underneath, some Marafi mat or some type of a mat. Well, I don't necessarily know that you want to put something that was impervious, so that's incorrect. But something that sort of put the sand on, like you're building a sand bunker on a golf course. You wouldn't necessarily use a barrier. You would use gravel. So my guess is probably take the area down a little bit, excavate or grade, and then put some type of gravel, then the sand over the
so what
gravel.
you're telling us is there would be a lot of disturbance in the no disturbance.
I don't think it would be a lot of disturbance. I mean,
But there would be a disturbance.
there's going to be some disturbance. I don't disagree with that. But, I mean,
So
we
the
minimize it.
So the question is, why don't you just put grass there?
Grass?
I mean, you could just
Well,
have a nice area.
he wants a beach, so, I mean, just a
We
small
will follow
area.
the requirement, whatever, that's why we are here. But my idea is to propose to have a sandy beach there if there,
But there would be a lot of erosion.
but if there is a lot of
Every time it rains,
destruction
it-
happen, of course we will switch to whatever you guys think it's appropriate for the area there.
I'd like to hear from Lauren on her thoughts on the entire project. I mean, we don't have a DEP file number, so we're probably going to need to get a significantly more detail on the beach area. Just know that we have a pretty strict no-touch inside of the 25-foot, and this whole thing is inside of 25-foot, and that doesn't even deal with some of the erosion concerns that we would have around that, but there's not enough detail for us to even really have a full conversation about it today anyway. But I'll be honest, at least for my vote, you'd probably have a pretty steep hill to climb on that, because we have been very, very strict on making sure that anything inside of the 25-foot has a legitimate justifiable reason, with offsetting mitigations that are made to justify the need for something like that. So probably we're going to need more detail to even move past that. So, but there's a lot more project in this filing. So I'd be interested in Lauren's 360 view of the whole project, and then if you have any comments on the beach as well, we'd certainly welcome them.
Start from the top down. So I did recommend a condition for doing a drip strip around the garage. So if the commission does approve the garage having a drip strip on there to mitigate any runoff from that structure.
What was that? What
An
was
infiltration drip strip.
infiltration drip strip?
Yeah,
In the ground, or?
yes, in the ground along the sides of the garage. So about 18 inches wide, 8 inches
Like
deep
sort
of
of a
gravel.
gravel sump around the garage, is that what you mean?
Correct, right.
Yeah, that's,
So, just to kind of prevent any erosion that could occur. As far as expanding upon this patio area, since this is an already developed and disturbed area, I don't see any negative impact from adding that much impervious, but I do think that there's some restoration that needs to be done in this area. There was a pile of debris, which I did go back looking in our records, that was there in 2023 that I'd recommend that there be a condition to get that cleaned up, as well as some of the materials that are by the shed, some of those old building materials to prevent any insulation, concrete, anything like that, that could be traveling its way into the lake itself. There is a history of enforcement on this property. I went back and went through all the records that I have on it, and it looks like there was a restoration plan that was submitted and approved by the commission. The plantings were done, from what I can see, in the fall of 2023, and there was supposed to be a 2-year survival period for those, so that would have been fall of 2025. It might be a bit of a challenge right now to try and confirm those, but that's just something, however the commission wants to go through that, if they want to address the closing out that enforcement as a separate thing, or if that just be looped in as part of a condition for this, which would really just be confirming the landscaping plantings, that they survived those 2 years, and anything that didn't survive be replaced. That could be something that you condition as part of this, or we can try and see what we can verify this time of year. Working down to the beach, obviously, it's already been said, but this does violate the town's 25-foot no disturb rule. If the commission were to entertain this, like I said, like Eric said, I think you'd need a lot more detail, but in my mind, it would almost be like building a big sandbox. You'd probably have to excavate down, you'd want to put like landscaping fabric or something underneath it, and then some type of frame to prevent it from going down, because if you just put the sand down, you're going to be replacing that every year, and it's going to make its way into the lake, which has a lot of negative impacts on an already pretty damaged lake, especially in that area where you've got all the runoff from DOT. So I think that it's worth a discussion. I know obviously Ed is not here right now, and I think we can all kind of picture what Ed's going to say, but I wouldn't want the applicant to spend more money on engineering design for it if the commission doesn't even want to entertain it. So, but if you would like to see a more proposed idea, or see them come back with something that has detail on the sand, and maybe if there's any other areas within the 25-foot that could be restored, enhanced, improved, trying to find that balance somewhere, that if that's something you want to talk about, that they can come back with it. But like I said, if it's something that you do not feel that you would entertain in any capacity, I wouldn't want the applicant to spend more money on more design for it. So that's just kind of my thoughts. It's not a sand beach like the other ones that we see, which obviously you all know my feelings on those, that shoreline sand beaches I'm not in favor of. This is basically a giant sandbox, which possibly even could be done as a temporary structure instead of a permanent, unless grading is needed. So like I said, yeah, that's my stance on that area.
Can I ask, what do most people do when they want to, I mean, where you've got, some beautiful lakes in the town, so what do most people do, or what do most people propose when they want to do this type of activity?
I have not seen this type of activity. Usually it's they're giving up some more of their lake access to make a certain point of their access more recreational, but there's not, with this site and the topography, you don't really have a lot of lake access that's there. So if this was a big flat lawn, and you were saying we want to take our flat lawn and put this, a sand pit here, like a volleyball court type thing. We want to put this over here. The commission would want to see something like, okay, where are we going to put some vegetation here? Some, like the project that we just approved, 21 Long Ave, of doing some vegetation plantings on the shoreline. So a developed lawn area that we are basically converting back into habitat and wetland planting. So you'd have to find something to kind of, a negotiation piece more or less to,
Okay.
but this is not your typical site for that, and it's not already a developed area.
Okay.
It's partially disturbed for whatever they did for the DOT fencing, but it's not a developed area. I wouldn't consider this as part of your lawn.
What I would suggest, or what I would ask is, I shouldn't say suggest, is if this is a sticking point, I'd just like to have a minute, talk to my client, just to, maybe it's something we would, let's say if we just did the patios and the garage, and we'll either remove or come back maybe for a beach. I don't know what his intention, I want to find out what his intention is.
Yeah.
What I don't want to get into, I prefer not to get into, is, and I appreciate the, Lauren, we don't want to really undertake any more engineering if we don't have to.
Sure.
And if this is a sticking point or potentially a sticking point, then I'd just like to have and if you're okay with the other activities, if it's something that sounds like you might approve, then maybe we'll go that route, but I just like to kind of find out. I like to talk to my client and then just kind of figure out.
Well, you're going to be given that time anyway, because we're going to have to ask for a continuation because we can't vote on it regardless.
I
right?
see.
So,
Okay.
And as a deliberative board, obviously, there's 5 votes. There'll be, a different composition of the voting people that will be here next week anyway. I would say that it's probably going to be a sticking point for me. I can't speak for the other members of the commission. I'm just one vote, but as Lauren had said, this is a negotiation. If somebody was really, this is what I need in my life, then generally what we're looking for in situations like that is a 2-to-1 replication. If you're asking for, 50 square feet, we want some sort of replication or enhancement improvement of 100 square feet, right? So,
I think if the conversation between you two of just kind of figuring out as what is your end goal with this? Is it, a sand pit to play in sand, or is it just, a comfortable place to kind of sit, be able to watch people in the lake, that maybe there's something less disturbing than a sand beach than that too? So just think of what your reasoning for wanting that there is and what alternatives there might be of something that wouldn't be, it's going to be a lot more work to put in a sand pit that's not going to wash into the lake either. So that'd kind of be the conversation that you guys should have too.
yeah.
And going back out to the site and seeing if there's any areas that you can do some mitigation.
Right, so if we say, we'll just remove the beach, is the rest of the project, would the commission consider closing it and approving it, or are we saying we're gonna need to come back regardless?
We need the
You're gonna have to
DEP
come back
number,
with that,
right?
because we don't have a DEP number.
Yeah.
We can't.
Well, you can, actually, you can close it, just don't issue the order of conditions.
Yeah,
But if
we
you-
have not, as a course of
Okay, I get it.
action,
That's fine.
moved on anything without seeing the DEP
I
comments.
see.
And so, yes, technically by the rule of law, we could, but as a precedent,
No problem.
that's not
Okay.
something we're interested in doing, because we like to see the DEP comments.
So either way, we have time to do some homework.
Exactly, yeah,
Perfect.
exactly.
And so I get it, so you won't issue, the commission has the position, they don't issue without a file number, and I understand.
Yeah.
So then, even if this was, everybody loved it and we want to approve it, you could.
We could, yeah.
Perfect.
Not
I
based
get
on-
you.
not
Now
based on the
I'm
way
on
that
board.
we've generally
Now I'm on
operated.
board.
For the beach area, is there any instruction or tips or way to start planning, or is there another site visit for some of you guys to look, and or is that something we have to start in
Yeah.
video, pictures? and
Like I said,
everything?
if you're hard pressed on doing it, you might want to just wait till the next meeting to, 1, see the DEP comments, and 2, have our other commissioner, to see if they're going to entertain that waiver, because you're going to have to spend more money on engineering to try and do a design showing how far down you're going, and basically do a profile view of what this would look like. And if the commission is not even going to entertain it, just, that's kind of your money. We just wouldn't want you to incur expense, so I think we'd kind of want to, my recommendation would just be, let's wait and see what the DEP file comments are, and come back on the 12th and maybe have a general idea, or seek alternatives before that next meeting. But you could do it, basic sketch concept of what you were proposing of, you know, we're gonna have to excavate this much down and we're gonna put down these barriers to prevent erosion, but,
But to Joe's point, we could, if we had the DEP file number, and if you still wanted to, you know, not spend the money on the engineering, but bring more of a proof of concept discussion, if that is not something that the commission is comfortable approving, we can strike that off the plan and take it off the permit and not build it into the order of conditions.
We can do that in the same meeting?
We can do that in the same
Okay.
meeting. So-
We wouldn't need to have this removed from the plan, would we? Because I didn't
We
do the
would,
plan.
we would condition it, and then it would need, it could not be constructed. And it
Okay.
would, on the final as-built, it better not be there, right?
No, I get it. It's just that Joe did the plan, so
Yeah.
I'm hearing he's not doing very well, or he's better, but I hear
he's
was
back
quite
at
ill.
work, but he's,
Heard he was
it's
quite ill.
slowly.
I had no
it's-
idea. I had
Yeah.
no clue.
I know he's.
He's back at work, it's just, he's slowly getting back into
This
work.
was August and September when I flagged it. Maybe that Shepherd was August. I don't remember when I flagged this, maybe September. And I just heard from him right before Christmas.
He does a lot of work in town, so.
Oh, I know he does. So I do a lot of work for him, so, but anyway, I was just kind of wondering, yeah, if you don't, yeah, we would, I mean, I don't have his access to his CAD files,
No,
so.
right, exactly. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Lauren, but we've done that plenty of times. We just have,
Right.
we basically struck. We condition
Yeah.
it through the order.
If right now the commission were to, you know, if we had the file number and all that, and the commission were saying, we approve everything except for the sand beach, we would just condition it, and, you know, in the conditions, it would say that the sand beach is not approved, and an as-built plan is gonna be required anyway, showing the placement of the garage and the patio, so you would just kind of do that at the end.
Okay. So either way, we're back on the 12th.
Yeah. Do we have any other comments? Nick,
I mean,
Laura?
No, the only thing, like, even without any expense, like, to, like, plan this with engineer or something like that, like, as Lauren was saying, have some idea, like, because right now it's like, okay, a sand beach, but, like, doesn't have much information, like, so for next meeting, if you want, like, to discuss this, bring a little bit more of information on, okay, there is a 4 feet grading of lines, so then like you will need like some type of profile, how much sand you're going to have, like, so are you like digging 1 inch, 2 inches, 5 inches, like to put the sand there. And I think the type of sand, it's also important, like, so have some thoughts about that, just because if it's very thin sand that can be blown with the wind, or even like
Clay
thinner
sand,
sand.
all-purpose sand, wash sand.
Exactly.
There's sands
There
that
are
are
like some like
bleached.
this other that is kind of like a very tiny, small gravel type of thing that is heavier and like may not erode that much. So think about those for next meeting, even if it's not through an engineering plan or something like that.
But as you might guess, that might be a sticking point
Yes.
for the project. I mean, so I had one question looking at the property. So you don't want to do anything with the access path towards the deck? I mean, you don't want
You
to,
anticipated my question. Good job, Carson.
oh,
That was part of the plan, which I thought.
because it doesn't say anything that you want to improve the stairs or,
The
because it
stairs.
looked to me as if the stairs were in pretty bad shape.
That's what's part of the plan, that's what I have here drawn, stairs come, there's existing stairs.
Yeah, but they
But it's
look
just-
pretty bad.
Yes, but just improving this, that's the drone here. Here, the path that we were talking about, the car, what's look like a car path or something that goes to, go from here all the way down, I think, in some way meet with the.
But do you want to,
Path is
do you
here.
want to improve anything on the stairs?
Yeah, that's what I have it in the plan. I don't know if it's,
It didn't say anything in your
I didn't
project.
see anything from it.
There was nothing, I didn't have anything in there about doing work on any, you know, because if there are stairs, they're not in very good condition, right?
yeah, they are just.
Did you want to replace the stairs, or did you want to?
It's improving. We were thinking about, like, with the contractor, the guy who was a truck, I talked to him back in July, the guy who talked to you.
Oh, yeah,
That
Darren.
was, yeah, Darren, that was the plan with him putting the stairs there and I wasn't sure what's the material that could be used in that, but the idea I
You
wanted
don't
to...
say anything on the project here,
No,
so
I
if you...
didn't, I didn't say anything about stairs, I didn't know we were doing
So it would
new
be,
stairs.
it would need to be on the project if you want to do that work.
Okay.
I mean,
That's what
it
I
is,
thought, this drone, what's this here then, what's
well,
this?
that,
just,
that
Existing.
exists.
That's an existing path.
To me, it's existing,
Right, it's
Not-
existing, but it's in bad shape.
yeah,
Yeah, just an existing path.
right.
It's pretty
That's
bad.
just
shape.
miscommunication between us then.
Okay.
But no, the plan, hopefully by next meeting, we'll have all this fixed up and have it ready. The
Yeah.
plan to have like the stairs cleaned up or whatever the law allow to go down to the dock from the house to the, dock. That's where we supposed to end the back concrete slab, and from there we start the stairs down to the dock. And
So if you're doing stairs, I'd recommend that you also provide like a spec of the stairs. If you're doing, prefabricated aluminum stairs that you're placing down versus like building something, that's something that we're gonna need a detail on, for the next meeting.
it's not, I'm not very familiar with all these terms. I was talking
Okay.
through my contractor, and I wasn't sure what's material it's allowed closer to the water or not. That's why I left it. Even the garage design, all the stuff, I haven't started, like, having a design or whatever, because I was thinking this the start to move on. And when you guys mentioned the beach, the same thing. I thought the idea of how much we dig and what's entailed, that's all would be the next step when we get like your ideas on what's allowed and what's not allowed, and then we could move. But again, I'm not
Well,
expecting
yeah,
that. I'm
it's,
just,
and it's okay to have the conversation, we just can't move forward without the detail,
okay.
right? So, and if you need, if your builder has any questions of what is allowable, what's not allowable, what would cause some problems, I would recommend maybe having your builder reach out to Lauren or Lori to have some conversations. They're very helpful to provide guidance.
That's what he did,
and-
that's what he told me. I'm sorry for that. That he, when he started,
Well, he may have had the conversation, but didn't end up on the paper.
yeah, I
right?
know, no, it's my fault.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
Are there stairs existing there now?
yes, like, I don't know if you.
All the way down, as
All
shown?
the way down, there's two parts of
Picture
this.
should show a little bit, I think.
Yeah, there's two paths. There's one that had dilapidated stairs coming right off the back, and then there's this like cart path that meanders, but that's also kind of like,
Oh, it's funny, Karsten,
it's not,
you said that when we were there.
it's kind of overgrown, right? So if the plan is to restore that and do something with that, grade it, do whatever, we need to have the details on what the plans are, and also know what the long-term plan is for making sure that it has an operation and maintenance plan, so it doesn't cause bigger problems, because that's a pretty significant slope. And if we have stormwater running that and it's causing erosion to go into the lake, that's a problem. So whatever is being done there, we need details on in order to make an assessment of whether or not, is this gonna hurt the lake, or is it going to improve what's going on there today? Right, because really that's what we're charged with doing, making sure that the lake is protected above all else, right? And make sure that we're not making things worse. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so that, and are you okay with us conditioning the removal of those building materials and whatnot off of the
Yeah,
off
that's,
of the property? I assumed you'd probably want those off anyway. If
I
you're
want them
if
out
you're
and-
spending all this money to improve the property,
it's
you probably
part
don't
of
want
the
them.
plan, the
Okay.
guy who and the shed even, it's also part of the plan to remove it after we build the garage. But that's and last thing, just the garage also, I don't know, here there's a existing gravels or whatever, and I was planning to add more to it just to improve it. That's also part of the plan that I don't know if showed up here or not.
Just
It's
maybe, it's kind of worn down, that just replace it with some gravel.
Yeah, just a
Some
gravel
fresh
and stuff,
gravel
that's
over it.
part of the plan that I talked to my contractor and supposed to be here, but I don't know if it's showing here.
Well,
For
it's
the
just,
driveway?
it's
So
So
gravel.
basically re-gravel the driveway?
Yeah,
I'll note that for the.
I don't know if I'd say re-gravel, but maybe just put some, I don't, it's just kind of,
It's a crushed stone or
Crushed
some-
stone,
some-
yeah.
Yeah, that's
it
existing.
wouldn't be anything, wouldn't need to grade or anything. We're not going to bring a machine and grade it. It'd be
No, no, just.
put down a little bit of gravel, so
Even
it's
it
just
out.
nothing, would you want that also?
Well, yeah, because that's, I mean, if you think about where that is,
You
right,
can-
that
yeah.
is inside of the 50 foot and potentially even inside of the 25. So any detail that, we really need to evaluate anything that's inside of 200 feet in the town of Sturbridge.
There's a pointer by the bread. if you
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
use it.
So,
If it's,
yeah,
if the
anything-
gravel would be, if you'd be putting crushed stone on the footprint for the existing driveway, not making any change to the driveway, I think that's something that could just be noted in a narrative.
Yeah.
That's
That's what we
put as
do.
supplemental material, depending on everything else you have to do. Like, if it turns out that there has to be a bunch of other changes made to the engineered plan, then obviously put that all on there, so it's all noted.
Right.
But if not,
Right,
that.
right.
that
So
was-
all you're talking about is maybe adding some gravel within the area, just freshening the gravel. You're not talking, we're not.
Yeah.
Not changing the footprint
I spoke to him
of it
about that,
and-
and it was never, we never discussed, it was never part of the discussion that, we need to bring a grate all in there, we need
No,
to
no,
grade it.
the
No, no, no.
only-
Just some fresh,
Yeah, the only
existing
slab
gravel
in
where
the
it's
front,
existing
that would be
gravel.
the change that I'm doing. The rest is just improving the gravel or the stone.
Yeah, that's okay. If
Yeah.
it's already there, just put a note in it.
yeah,
but-
Yeah.
What would you like to improve?
Say it again?
What would you like to improve, you said before?
The front, the landing in the front, we said it was 3 by 5, we want to make it 5 by 8.
Yeah, that's part of it, that's part of the
Part
notice.
of the notes. yeah.
What,
It's part of it.
and, well, we'll add a note, if it's not already on the plan, that, just some fresh gravel on the existing gravel driveway, as we'll put that as a note.
Yeah, and if you just note that it's existing, it makes it easier for us to
Sure.
conceptualize what's existing, what's, like with the path there. That's an existing path, but what you plan on doing to it, right, we need to know, right?
No, I get that.
Yeah.
There didn't seem to be much gravel there at the moment.
No, it was mostly dirt, right? So that's probably why he wants it, so it doesn't rut out in mud.
Yeah,
So,
just freshen it up.
Yeah,
all right. Any other discussion? There's no public, anybody online? All right, so the next meeting is February 12th. Obviously, we need the DEP file. You'll have to have any changes into the office by the 5th, is that right?
1 week prior to the meeting.
1 week prior to the meeting, so by the 5th. So any updates to the plans, to the narrative, anything that you want us to consider at the next meeting, just have into
I'll get it
Lauren by
to
the
you.
5th.
As far as adding we'll talk about the steps, and, if we need to get a detail, you might have to get a detail from Joe, I don't know if he can do it. And then the beach, I don't know what, we can talk about that.
If you aren't going to be able to have everything in time and you need to bring it out another meeting, just shoot Lori and I an email just saying that you request a continuance to the next meeting.
What if DEP doesn't have a number by 12th?
It has happened, but let's hope that's not the
I mean,
case, but.
that's really unacceptable, but, that's neither here nor there, but regardless.
You could just send an email.
Not my circus.
Continue.
I did today.
You would need to show up,
Yeah.
right? So.
I did today, and they said it would be forwarded to the analyst, whoever that is, but.
Oh, no, I mean to us.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Requesting a continuance, yes.
Yeah, so if we don't have a file number, then we shouldn't come in.
I
Why
would-
should he,
I think if you,
right?
if you have more details,
I'll get the details in for sure.
get the details, because at the moment it's not in the state where
Oh,
we even
absolutely.
could approve. So even if you don't have a file number, I think it might make sense for you to come in to
Right.
discuss.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether we have any.
Yeah.
Because
only-
otherwise, you push it back, and then you come in and we still have some problems, then.
Yeah, the only detail.
Perfect, thank you.
It'd be the stairs, and I don't know about the beach, we'll talk about the beach. But it sounds like that might be a sticking
You
point.
can, if when you have a better idea, you can call me and I can let you know what you'd need.
Sure.
Because anything that you're bringing to us, you'd basically have 2 weeks to do it. And, as you mentioned too, if it's like engineering stuff, I don't know if you're going to be able to get Joe to do it in the next 2 weeks.
Probably not.
But if it's, You guys talk and then give me a call for what you're gonna do, and then it's.
Detail
Okay.
of the beach area, but I don't think I can get you what you need for the stairs. That has to be, I know I
It
can't do
depends
that.
on what you're doing. I mean, if it's like those prefabricated aluminum stairs that
Can't
you're just
imagine
placing
that.
down or any, yeah.
Probably just something, I would say
just-
pressure
Is there a
treated.
preference for the committee, or is there something that's good or easy to prove, or is there, I don't have any...
The easiest, technically, you'd be asking for a waiver for disturbance in the 25-foot and new structures within the 50. So I don't think that anyone can comfortably guarantee you anything that says, yes, this is it, but
No, I mean, for the stairs, is there
Right.
any
He's
material
asking,
that's...
like-
still be needing it. As far as stair
has a better
preference,
chance than the other material, or is there any...
not impervious. Something that allows rain, groundwater to go underneath.
It probably, could have just assumed it would be, I don't know how it'd be pervious, but I mean, I think like pressure treated or something, or Trex or something, I mean, that,
I have no preference, as long as there's a stairs clean and accessible to the water.
So we can't help you engineer it, so what I'll say
No, I get
is
it.
probably the best thing to do is have the conversation. I'm gonna cut this off.
Okay, thank you.
And just ask for a motion for a continuance till February 12th.
Excellent. In regards to the property at 23 Old Hamilton Road, without a DEP file number, I make the motion to continue the public hearing on February 12th, 2026.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
San German in favor?
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
Wonderful. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll see you in a few
See you
weeks.
on-
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so we are through, and we can go back down to our certificates of compliance. I think we are
10.
at number 10. Request for a certificate of compliance for 339 The Trail, DEP file number 300-536.
339 The Trail, this is actually a request that's been in the pipeline for the last year. It was a single-family house built in 2003. When I was going through the file last year, there was a bunch of notes from 4 agents ago of a bunch of deviations on the plan, so it was really important that we had an as-built plan on this one, just so that everything is noted, and we were able to find the water lines, sewer lines, and all of that too. The homeowner hired a new surveyor, got out there, everything's good, everything's stable, and now we have a plan that actually shows what is there. No concerns, recommendation to issue certificate of compliance.
Have a motion?
In regards to the property at 339 The Trail, DEP file number 300-536, I make the motion to issue a certificate of compliance without perpetual conditions.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Gravel in favor?
San German in favor?
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
All right, number 11, request for a certificate of compliance, 33 Putnam Road, DEP file number 300-1249, paving of a gravel driveway. The request is motion to issue a certificate of compliance with perpetual conditions 36 and 39.
We recently just did this one. There was a emergency order to repair the culvert, an emergency order in 2023 to repair the other culvert. So this was the really, really long driveway that's on the edge of town. It was done according to plan, pitched the way that we intended, so everything looked good. Recommendation to approve.
Okay. In regards to the property at 33 Putnam Road, DEP file number 300-1249, I make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance with perpetual conditions 36 and 39.
Second.
Yep. All those, any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
San German in favor?
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
Number 12, request for certificate of compliance, 179 Main Street, DEP file number 300-1042, parking lot pavement, stormwater maintenance required.
So this is the property where Enrico's is, and we have not been getting the maintenance reports for the stormwater. So I've inquired about that and just to see when they were done last. Overall, it looks like it was done properly, but I also want Heather to go out with me again to look at it too, because this is such an impactful area. That wetland that's in the back has just slowly been degrading over, the last several years. So obviously we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make it better. And I'm going to assume that they salt the driveway for that whole plaza, even though it's a lot of gravel in the back. So I want to get the reports that they owe us for the maintenance first, and then, so this one also, I'd recommend to table to the next meeting.
Okay, all those in favor of the table to a future meeting?
Central Man in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
All right. 13, request for a special use permit, Riverlands 52 Stallion Hill Road. Applicant is Opacan Land Trust. Event is coming up on February 23rd, 2026. It's a nature scavenger hunt to an estimated 20 guests. Yeah.
So this event is just leading a homeschool group on a nature base. They're not putting anything onto the trails. It's all using natural elements. It's just a gathering. I have no concerns about this, and Opakam is our CR holder, so obviously they help us keep that property compliant anyway. Recommendation to approve with the conditions as noted.
Great. So in regards to the property at 52 Stallion Hill Road, I make the motion to approve the event of the Nature Scavenger Hunt with the, to issue the special use permit for the Nature Scavenger Hunt with the conditions noted in the detailed agenda.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
San German in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
All right, we have a second request for a special use permit, also at the Riverlands, 52 Stallion Hill Road. The applicant is the Last Green Valley. The date of the event is March 20th, 2026, and it's an equinox hike with a hike with an estimated of 15 guests.
Again, they're not bringing in anything foreign to the site, just a group gathering. They do this every year. I have no concerns. Recommendation to approve with the conditions as noted.
In regards to 52 Stallion Hill Road, make the motion to issue the special use permit of the property for an equinox hike with an estimate use of 15 guests with the conditions noted in the detailed agenda.
Take a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Nick Gravel in favor?
San German in favor.
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
All right. Now we're moving to old business. Discussion of possible meeting dates to reschedule our February 26th, 2026 special meeting to continue the public hearing for 71 Mashapog Road, DP file number 300-1224. And we have to reschedule this due to quorum issues.
I'm not going to be here on the 26th.
Right.
Not me either, but it doesn't matter, I don't think.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to get into the project discussion
We-
itself, but we had
think you can.
scheduled a special meeting, we had scheduled a special meeting for the 26th. Flora's not going to be here. We still would have 3 members eligible to vote, but knowing that, I just think that's unfair to the applicant. Recommendation from our council was to reschedule that till after the 26th. I have not reached out to Gary yet to let him know that we had to reschedule it because I was waiting for other things to come into play so I could just do it as one conversation. So my recommendation would be maybe we can propose 2 different dates and see which works better for them. I was thinking that either we could do a special meeting on March 5th prior to the regular scheduled meeting
Will be out of town.
on that week.
No, the 5th to the, yeah.
March 5th, you're out. If we want to keep it on Thursdays, the 12th or the 19th.
Okay.
If both the 12th and the 19th would work, I can send both of those to Gary and see if he has a preference. But
Any of those are fine with me.
either of them work?
Yep.
March 12th and March
5,
19th?
12, 19, all of them.
I think that should be okay.
I can't do anything on that anyway, right?
Just discussion.
So the 12th is better for me, but
I'll be here on the
the
12th.
19th I probably can do.
Okay.
12th is our normal meeting, right?
No, the 5th is our normal meeting, and then the next one is the
You're talking
20th.
about March, I'm sorry,
March.
I'm going off.
Yeah,
The 5th is our normal meeting in March.
correct. Okay, so I'll give Ed a call just to double check that both those work for him, and then if not, I'll reach out to Gary and see if I'll let them know that we prefer the 12th, but could do the 19th if that's something better for them, but.
Yeah.
And then we'll get that noted and advertised. I also have to double check with our council to see if, because we had already announced that we were doing a special meeting on the February 26th, if I still need to post it and then put it as canceled, just to be compliant. Yeah, it's a little fuzzy in that area. So I'll check with him on that.
Select Board just canceled their meeting last week, just look what they did.
True. But it was still posted, because all theirs were already posted.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't cancel it till the day of.
Right.
And most likely their Monday meeting, it might get canceled too because of the weather.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That'll be done snowing by then.
Yeah.
Softies.
okay, so I'll do those.
All right, you want to move to agent update?
Sure. Guess what? We're in a drought again.
Really?
Isn't it so odd?
Even possible.
So this is the trend that has happened in 2025. They would announce that we're in a drought, and then the next day, we'd get a bunch of rain. In this case, we've gotten a bunch of snow. So December, we always get it like 2 weeks later, but they declared that we were in a drought, and we've gotten a bunch of precipitation since then, and then we're about to get hit with a storm this weekend. So I'm hoping that by the next month, that we're no longer in a drought. But looking at the comparisons between last year and this year, it's kind of every chance that we've seen recovery, we end up in a drought again. Not as bad, like there was a point to this year that we went up to a level 3, but we were more of a drought last year. We're all over the place. Yeah. Climate change.
That's weird.
It's all of the Aquanet that Nick
I
uses.
thought it rained a lot.
It is.
What's that?
Compared to last year, I thought it rained a lot.
It did, but we were still in a drought a lot last year.
Yeah, I know.
Because we'd get it wasn't even as much that we got a lot of rain, it was we got a lot of rain in short periods of time. So as far as the average for what we would get, we still didn't add up to that. That's just kind of the trends that we've been seeing.
Boo.
Moving into conservation lands, I'm trying to work with different foresters to get some options for our lead mine forest plan that expires this fall. And then I'm working with DCR and also Fish and Wildlife, who holds our CR on lead mine, because they also can give us money for our forest stewardship plan. So just seeing what our options are for that. We've been making strides on the Plimpton master plan. Our consultant went out and identified all the trails, and there's a whole bunch of unauthorized trails on that property. So our next steps there to kind of map those out a little bit more, and then kind of work with our CR holder, Opaque Land Trust, and work with the Trails Committee to try and figure out some compromises before we bring something to natural heritage, because that obviously is all endangered species protected area. Other than that, just trying to wrap things up for the end of the year, working on annual reports, making sure everyone's compliant. Thank you for doing your conflict of interest training. I don't think
I got a
sent anyone
follow-up
else.
email saying I needed to complete one more thing, so I got to go in and look. It was weird.
Let me double check.
Because I sent you the certificate.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different things.
Yeah, there's like 2, it like shows it as photos, and there's 2 that you have to click on. I think the second
Yeah.
one's a lot shorter.
One
I only did
takes
one.
very easy.
Yeah, I think it only took me I had to redo mine this year. I think it only took me 30 minutes.
How often do you?
Every 2 years.
Okay, so I already did that.
Yep, and if you two have to do it for your institution, there's an option in you don't have to do conflict of interest training.
Private.
I don't have, I'm
Oh.
a professor.
I was gonna say, if you had to do it for
You don't
work,
have
there's
to
an
do
option to add
conflicts
it. Well, then never mind.
You know,
Enjoy
who
all the
needs to
conflicts
do
at
it?
work.
All these Trumpists in the government, they need
You can work on that one.
to.
I gave you all some-
All right.
MACC annual conference is at the end of February. If you guys are interested in attending, I gave you the printout of all the courses that are being offered for this
So
year.
where are they? Where's the conference?
Holy
It's
Cross.
at Holy Cross.
But it's in March 5th, 6th, right?
It's the February 28th, I think, is what I gave you. But that's a great conference. It's easy access. Usually some good keynote speakers too, and we pay for it. If you want to register for it, just let me know which sessions you want to register for. I also gave you the flyer for Opakam Land Trust's annual breakfast. That's at Pathfinder High School. I went last year, and it was just kind of nice to talk to different communities about challenges they're facing, meet other agents, meet other stakeholders in the area too. And there's free breakfast and auctions, and it was a good time. So that one you can register for on your own. It's a free event, so just sharing that with you. 2, there is a chance that we will all be working remote on Monday. We can't close town hall offices, but we'll have, Robin said she'll let us know by 10 a.m. tomorrow officially what the plan is gonna be with the snow, so be safe.
How bad is the snow supposed to be?
A foot.
Somewhere-
we're not-
somewhere between 1 inch and 2,500 inches.
Yeah, that's what I'm basically.
From the reports that Heather's getting, we're not supposed to be getting like the icy mix of it. It's just supposed to be a lot of fluffy snow into the night and going into the first half of the day. So it's just gonna be more accumulation being the issue, and the plow's trying to,
We used to get these snowstorms every week, and now,
you know, I try to, like, I think when you're, what's it called when you think something happened, but you don't know if it's just something you made? Yeah.
Deja vu type of thing.
But I think that, like, I remember when I was a kid, like, opening my front door and the snow being this high, and I definitely remember walking on my dad's
but you were much
Trans Am as a
smaller,
kid, because
right?
the snow was so high.
you were much smaller than.
But I was much smaller.
Trans Am's are low.
But
Trans Am's
yeah.
are low, though.
Yeah.
But you don't see snow like that anymore.
You don't. I mean, we're gonna get something crazy, just, you
Yes.
know, everybody's gonna be like, oh, it's not anything.
And
It's
you
only
said, this doesn't have a date on this, February 28th?
Yeah. I'm gonna
February
be gone.
28th for the conference, yep. And I also printed all of the meeting minutes for you guys to look over if you need to make any corrections. So you can look them over.
We always look them over.
Uh-huh.
Always.
We have proof this is not true.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know what they are. But either, thanks for bringing them. Where can we
So if you wanna look them over, and
I was like, you don't send them in the email.
they're
do
in
you?
the
get
conservation
emails.
documents.
Which documents?
This one was not emailed.
That one was not emailed because I was printing it.
So I can't, I have to actually read this.
It's probably good.
Send them in
I
the
like
documents.
emails.
Send them in the email. And send them twice.
Okay.
If it's important, it has to be in my email twice.
Maybe we'll just send them as soon as they're done, so you have them
Wonderful, thank you.
multiple weeks.
So we vote on this next week, on the medium meeting?
Yeah, we probably should
Table it.
table it.
Do you want to pick site visit day or wait? Oh, we don't have anything. Today was the application deadline and no one turned anything
Nothing
in.
came in.
We don't have any new applications for the next meeting, so.
Can we cancel the meeting?
We just did a bunch of continuances for the next
We
meeting.
didn't do a bunch, but we did do some.
We should have continued them for the next meeting. We could
Yeah.
have just.
Yeah. All right. Well, do we want to tentatively schedule something, or do we, we're probably fine. If nothing came in, we
Yeah.
don't need to see anything, so.
Nope, I'm holding my foot down.
All right.
I was so kind when I updated all of the applications that for all of our regular people, I sent them the meeting date deadlines, I sent them the link to all the packets, I said, this is the deadline, we're holding to it, so
All right.
if they missed it, they missed it.
Anything from Lakes floor? Or Trails, Nick?
No, like I don't,
They haven't been meeting.
Okay.
They're not, Slack isn't meeting till.
you never invite me to the meetings.
But they have AI, so they can just
There you go.
produce.
There you go.
Well, AI.
Yeah, you're a professor, you know. I noticed the same thing. All right, Karsten, do your thing, unless there's anything
Oh.
else.
Oh, nobody else? No Trails Committee? Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Second,
All right, all those in favor?
me.
All right,
Oh, good.
under 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
I have.